Welcome back to another special video on the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's not only fascinating, but one you might never have thought about. And trust me, what you're about to hear will definitely make you go, "Wait, what?" So stay tuned and pay close attention. This episode takes you on a journey into the psychological and scientific truths behind female sexuality. Insights every man should know if he truly wants to understand and connect with his partner on a deeper level. Before we get into the juicy details, take a second to show your support. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming deep dive videos. Alright, let's get into it. Have you ever stopped to think, when a woman touches herself while fantasizing about you, it's not just a physical act. It's a powerful emotional signal, a sign of deep emotional intimacy and connection. During sex, a woman's heart rate and blood pressure naturally rise, which often causes flushing of the skin, especially on the face or genitals. While some people might worry this is a negative reaction, science tells us it's actually a completely natural, healthy physiological response. Here's another eye-opener. Studies have found that women over 30 tend to be more open to exploring new sexual experiences, including things like anal sex. But exploration doesn't always come easy. One common challenge is vaginal dryness, which can make sex uncomfortable. The good news, there are simple ways to ease this, from natural lubricants to even using saliva. But most importantly, open communication and mutual consent are the keys to navigating any new experience. And when it comes to pleasure, emotional intimacy plays a huge role. What makes many women feel truly desired isn't just physical, it's the way their partner builds emotional connection. Think deep kisses, attentive touch, oral sex, or gently exploring the breasts. These aren't just techniques, they're expressions of care and passion that speak louder than words. One more truth that deserves to be said loud and clear: there's no such thing as a perfect vulva. Every woman is unique in color, shape, and size, and that's something to celebrate, not critique. Yet, countless women admit to feeling self-conscious about how they look down there, a silent insecurity that can seriously impact their sexual confidence and enjoyment. Surprising truths about desire, pleasure, and emotional connection. Now, here's a mind-blowing fact you probably didn't expect. Among adults aged 50 to 60, over 90% of men and about 85% of women are still sexually active. Even more surprising, a third of them report having sex at least once a week. Science continues to uncover fascinating insights about the human body. For example, gently pressing the base of the penis at the right moment can help delay ejaculation, a technique that not only extends pleasure, but also shows finesse and emotional awareness in the bedroom. After sex, many women naturally feel the urge to talk. And no, it's not just a random habit, it's actually a vital moment for emotional bonding. That simple post-intimacy conversation strengthens the connection between partners, turning a physical act into a deeply emotional experience. Check out this compelling stat. 93% of men between the ages of 18 and 56 admit to consuming adult content. Meanwhile, a whopping 85% of women say they're turned on when they see a man sucking on his fingers. Strange maybe, but this kind of imagery taps into the visual and imaginative triggers that drive sexual arousal. Men tend to masturbate more frequently, not just because of physical need, but due to a feedback loop driven by testosterone. The act of sex or self-pleasure boosts testosterone, and in turn, higher testosterone increases libido. It's a self-fueling cycle. The more you engage in sexual activity, the more your desire grows. But it's not just men who reap the benefits. Many women report feeling more satisfaction from oral sex than penetration. This highlights the importance of variety in stimulation. True pleasure lies in understanding what truly excites your partner, not sticking to a one-size-fits-all approach. And here's a quirky, but scientifically backed fact. Cold feet can actually reduce a woman's chances of reaching orgasm. Sounds bizarre? Research shows that when women wear socks during sex, their likelihood of achieving orgasm can spike, up to 80%. Warm feet help the body relax, making it easier to fully experience pleasure. One last truth that deserves your attention: nearly 60% of women between the ages of 45 and 60 have faked an orgasm at some point with their partner. That's a striking number, and it points to a deeper issue: a lack of genuine connection and mutual understanding in many intimate relationships. Hormones, sensation, and the beauty of variety. Did you know that your blood sugar levels can directly affect your sex drive? It's true. When blood sugar is too low, your body becomes less responsive to stimulation, making it harder to feel aroused. In some cases, something as simple as a cold scoop of ice cream at just the right moment can reignite desire and spark a hotter encounter than you expected. Sex doesn't always have to be serious. A touch of creativity, a dash of humor, and a good dose of emotional intelligence can transform any intimate moment into an unforgettable experience, not just for the body, but for the soul too. Statistically, men tend to have their first sexual experience around the age of 16, while women average closer to 15. But here's a concerning trend: many women later admit regretting dating someone they met online. It's a reminder that in the digital age, choosing partners, especially those we meet in virtual spaces, still requires caution, awareness, and emotional maturity. Now here's a fun fact you probably didn't see coming: the scent of pumpkin, yes, pumpkin, has been shown to boost blood flow to the penis, improving both the strength and duration of erections. Who would have guessed that a cozy fall fragrance could pack such a punch in the bedroom? Speaking of surprises, let's talk about digital behavior. In a world ruled by social media, what do people actually prioritize after sex? Turns out, 35% of people under 35 admit they don't check their phones or social media right after intimacy. They wait. This shows that even in our hyper-connected world, genuine physical and emotional closeness still comes first. Let's shift to a basic, but often overlooked, biological truth. The average depth of a woman's vagina ranges from 3 to 4 inches, about 8 to 10 centimeters. This means that even an average-sized penis can bring immense satisfaction if the man pays attention, takes his time, and truly listens to his partner's needs and feedback. And if you're looking for a position that amplifies both physical pleasure and emotional connection, try sitting face-to-face. The woman can wrap her legs around her partner's waist, creating close pelvic contact. This not only allows for deeper penetration, but it also opens up opportunities for eye contact, gentle touches, and shared exploration, taking intimacy and orgasm to an entirely new level. A deeper look at pleasure and the power of subtle technique. Let's be real, not every woman finds it easy to orgasm. In fact, studies show that between 25% to 30% of women have never actually reached climax. That's a striking number, and it reveals how important it is to truly understand each other's bodies and emotions. Because pleasure isn't just about the finish line, it's about trust, connection, and mutual respect along the way. Now, if a man happens to have a penis with a slight downward curve, a modified doggy-style position, where the woman leans slightly forward, can be a game changer. This angle allows for deeper G-spot stimulation and can help both partners sync up better for a more satisfying and well-timed orgasm. Interestingly, some women can climax without any penetration at all. With just hands or sex toys focused on external areas, the results can be just as powerful. In fact, over 80% of women say direct clitoral stimulation is the fastest and most reliable route to orgasm. So if you're focusing only on penetration, you might be missing the mark. Here's a tip for men who want better control over ejaculation. Breathe. Deep, slow, rhythmic breathing during sex can help regulate your nervous system, reduce anxiety, and delay premature responses, making the experience more intense and drawn out for both of you. And if you're working with a smaller size, don't sweat it. Technique always beats length. A variation of doggy style, where the woman lays her upper body down and keeps her legs close together, can create a tighter fit, increasing friction and intensity. This not only heightens pleasure but also challenges endurance, because the sensations can be next level. For couples over 50, trying new positions and slowing the pace can completely transform the bedroom experience. Sex doesn't have to be all about thrusting or penetration. In fact, that mindset can lead to boredom and pressure. Instead, focus on emotional touch, like sensual caresses, deep kissing, and well-timed oral sex. Because sometimes, the real joy isn't in the destination, it's in every intimate moment along the way. Sexual health and long-term care. If you've been struggling with maintaining strong erections, it might be time to take a closer look at your lifestyle. One of the most common and most overlooked causes is a lack of physical activity. Sitting for long hours and skipping movement doesn't just hurt your back, it seriously affects your sexual health. Incorporating daily walks, staying active, and shifting toward a low-carb, high healthy fat diet can significantly improve your bedroom performance. Don't underestimate the power of taking care of your body. It's one of the most powerful tools for long-term sexual vitality. For women, anal stimulation, when done respectfully and with proper communication, can trigger incredibly intense pleasure. In fact, many women report reaching their G-spot through this route, especially when the angle and rhythm are just right. It all comes down to understanding anatomy and staying in sync emotionally and physically with your partner. Let's also talk about the ever-persistent topic of size, a subject clouded by myths and insecurities. Technically, a penis under 4.7 inches 12 centimeters is considered small, while over 6.3 inches 16 centimeters is seen as large. But here's the truth, size isn't what makes a lover unforgettable. What matters more is how present you are, how well you read your partner's body, and how you lead the experience with skill and sensitivity. Sustaining arousal isn't just about technique, it's about rhythm, empathy, and being tuned in. Sometimes a well-timed intermission, a pause for kisses, caresses, or even oral sex can reignite desire even more powerfully than before. Alternating between tension and relaxation is often the secret to creating a deeply emotional and memorable experience. Female sexual satisfaction is a layered journey, one that goes beyond obvious physical actions. Truly understanding this can transform you from a partner who simply knows the moves to one who truly connects with her body and her soul. When done with care and harmony, combining clitoral and anal stimulation can unlock deeper, longer, and more powerful orgasms. But this kind of pleasure only happens when there's trust, communication, and a willingness to adapt to the emotional rhythm of the woman you're with. Mastering yourself, the art of pleasure control. For men who are truly committed to leveling up their bedroom skills, mastering ejaculation control isn't optional. It's essential. One surprisingly effective trick. Change up your thrusting technique. Go for short, deep strokes. This not only delays climax, but helps keep the fire burning longer throughout the session. On the flip side, maintaining long, steady, rhythmic strokes doesn't just build physical pleasure, it activates a sense of inner confidence and psychological dominance. The real magic happens when you alternate between the two. Playing with tension and release turns sex into a dance, a mutual rhythm that both partners will remember, not just for how it felt, but for how deeply it resonated. But to reach this level, it's not just about moves, it's about presence. That means being fully there, through eye contact, intentional touch, and a genuine sensitivity to your partner's responses. Real pleasure isn't about racing to the finish line, it's about tuning into every moment of connection. From the age of 45 and beyond, a man's body begins to respond differently to sexual stimulation. That's why keeping yourself strong, both physically and mentally, becomes crucial if you want to maintain a vibrant and fulfilling sex life. Prolonged stress, poor sleep, and low energy are silent killers of intimacy. But on the other hand, quality sleep, smart nutrition, and regular movement are your allies, helping you stay powerful, responsive, and resilient where it matters most. Many people assume that aging equals decline. But here's the truth: age doesn't limit you, it elevates you. If you take care of yourself, aging brings deeper awareness, greater emotional intelligence, and a more refined approach to pleasure. It allows you to understand your body, respect your partner's emotions, and enjoy intimacy in a slower, more soulful way. Growth, maturity, and the shifting landscape of male sexuality. Between the ages of 15 and 25, most men are at their physical peak, flooded with testosterone, pulsing with energy, and driven by an almost endless curiosity. It's a phase of wild exploration, experimentation, and a hunger for new experiences in the bedroom. But here's the flip side: emotional maturity hasn't quite caught up yet. At this stage, many men struggle to truly empathize, to place their partner's satisfaction on equal ground with their own. That's not a judgment, it's a reality. And recognizing it is the first step toward real growth. Women, on the other hand, tend to reach the peak of their sexual fulfillment later, often between the ages of 35 and 50. By then, they've not only grown into their bodies, but have also embraced a confidence that sheds guilt, shame, or societal pressure. This is their golden era, a time when they feel free to explore, express, and enjoy without inhibition. And for any man who can truly connect with a woman during this phase, physically and emotionally, the intimacy they share becomes unforgettable. The real difference between just a man and a conscious man isn't about technique. It's about sensitivity. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about knowing how to listen, understand, and support your partner on her emotional and sensual journey. And if you've made it this far into the video, then let's be clear, you're not just another guy scrolling through the internet. You're the kind of man who wants to grow, to be better, not just in bed, but in thought, in relationship, and in life. Connection, growth, and the making of a virtuous man. If you're still here, watching this moment, then I know one thing for sure: you're not just curious. You're searching for a better version of yourself, a man who understands himself, knows how to love, and lives with purpose. That's exactly why Homem de Virtudes exists. This isn't just a channel about sex. It's about maturity, it's about connection. And most of all, it's about conscious masculinity, a kind of manhood that isn't built on dominance or bravado, but on respect, patience, and a deep understanding of yourself and your partner. If you're looking to master your desire, to channel your instincts into true connection, not just temporary pleasure, then you've found the right place. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and become part of a community of men who are constantly evolving, not judged, but inspired. Inspired to become stronger, calmer, wiser men day by day. Because being a man of virtue isn't something you're born with. It's a choice, a commitment, a journey. And that journey starts now. Become the man you were always meant to be. Sex, when seen as just an instinct, will always be just an act. But when you approach it as an art, where your body, mind, and emotions move in harmony, you unlock a whole new dimension of connection and meaning. You've stayed with me from the beginning of this video to the very end. That's not just patience, that's a conscious choice. And if you choose to keep walking this path, you'll no longer be a man living on autopilot, but a man who lives with intention, with presence, with virtue. Let what you've learned today be more than just information. Let it be a spark, a reason to act. No matter where you are on your journey, single, dating, or married, you always have the power to become a better version of yourself, more refined, more connected, more aware of those around you. Don't be afraid of change, don't resist growth. Because a true man is not defined by his past, but by how he chooses to live in the present and how he builds a future for himself and for the people he loves. If you found value in this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this message with other men you believe are also on the path to becoming more. Let's build a new generation of men who feel deeply, think clearly, and live with honor. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video.